Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a wet welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. Or at least, it would be. Because it was raining mere moments ago as I was setting up the camera and having to deal with my my phone potentially having an issue of, being waterlogged or something. Not really waterlogged, that's not the right word. Water afflicted, I suppose. And the second that I have the camera ready and everything, and I've managed to deal with having an umbrella in one hand and the selfie stick in another, it stops raining. It's still dripping. That's because I'm like underneath trees right now and they're still like, dripping off of it. And you can also hear the fountain that's behind me. Maybe, I'm not actually sure. It's always inconsistent how far like sound actually travels with Walking Wednesday. That's the issue with like filming outside, particularly. I mentioned this before, but it's the difference between having like a filming outside with a boom mic versus dubbing something in a studio, and that's why a bunch of dubs don't sound as authentic, because they haven't had that genuine experience in the actual moment. Anywho, basically, yeah, it seems like now the rain's gone. Fantastic. I didn't need this. I didn't set this up after all. Okay. Are you laughing at me, Zeus? What have I done to you? Probably a lot, actually. Probably a fair amount. But yeah, it's been another week, I suppose. Although this one is more of an interesting one by omission for the most part. First of all, by the way, I only have like a short amount of time to record this anyway, so I won't be dilly-dallying today, because I've got another choir rehearsal in about an hour's time. I need to be sure that I am back and prepared for that. All the birds. We birdies. Yeah. I haven't explored too much of this park outside of filming in it, actually. I know that somewhere along this stretch of land, I suppose, or I believe was the famed eel statue that's apparently the welding students from 10 years ago from the school that I work in made over the course of 6 years. And apparently it's still in pristine, intact condition, because everyone's had has either made it themselves or they've have relatives who worked on it, that kind of thing. So it's a local landmark, and I believe I passed it before, not in this path I'm taking right now, but somewhere towards one of the sides. But I might have been wrong, because I was just talking to the welding teacher about that. The guy who was in charge of that whole thing in the first place. But yeah, I don't really know. I want to see what's on that amphitheatre sometimes. That'd be a cool venue, actually, now that I think about it. The choir director, I don't know why I'm still holding up my umbrellas if I need it. The choir director actually, I say, he's been looking for a few venues to perform for Christmas. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but he vaguely said that he wanted to get other people's opinions about whether or not they wanted to perform, whether we're just rehearsing songs for ourselves, for our own sake. It seems that the majority have spoken, and apparently we're going ahead with that idea. We don't have much of a Christmas repertoire, and he wants to add at least one more song in Gallego, so that because apparently he's looking at some retirement homes, I believe, was the idea. I mean, yeah, retirement homes is a good crowd, and don't get me wrong, whenever I've sang Christmas carols in the past, the elderly were the ideal and prime customers. But yeah, who knows, something somewhere else might be a good thing too. But then again, what do I know? I'm not sure. I might need to go random venue surfing if I want to offer suggestions. you know, get a bit more of the local expertise before I start contributing to that. I don't really know, but yeah, we don't have anything you know, Christmas related, because I think most of the songs we were working on were already suggested. I had an interesting thing this week of trying to find sheet music for He Lives in You from The Lion King 2, which is a song that I've wanted to do in a choir for some time, particularly because I like the Michael Ball and Alfie Boe version of it. I feel like that's the one that works the best for a choir, particularly because most of the song is otherwise is a solo performance plus a trio, depending on the version that you get. I was looking for sheet music over the weekend, and didn't find the Ball and Bow version, but I did find some other ones, and then I sent it over to the director, and then he said, "Ah, yes, I performed this song a few years ago. Let's see if I have the sheet music for it." He's like, "Well, if you had it the whole time, why'd you ask me to find it?" What do you mean? So I'm a little bit confused by that, but at least that suggestion is possible. That was before I found out we might be doing some Christmas related things. So so yeah, I'm intrigued about that. I just thought right now that actually, if I decide to pitch some things for this you know, for this theatre group that I have been told I've not been running many options, but apparently it might be an extracurricular or something. If I pitch something to them, maybe I could actually combine the choir with that, and they can actually perform some stuff adjacent to them, assuming they don't have too many overlaps in terms of members. Ideas. I've been having a lot of ideas recently. Not least of all because I had to come up with another contingency plan for Quest of the Rising Sun yesterday. I won't give too many details about what happened on the server this time, but safe to say that in terms of the general ideas of you know, accepting apologies and not expressing any further resentment when asked if they had anything further, someone was not entirely upfront about this. And that is something that we will handle between the two people involved in that exchange, the resentor and the resentee, and myself. So 3 in total. But yeah, we haven't had any sessions privately. Like, my idea was that we would actually do a pre-record, mainly because we're trying to see if Error, the potential new DM, will get used to our group dynamic, but also on top of the group dynamic, the idea of how we handle the on-camera aspect of the series, because that's another thing. And I just realised that my contingency plan for if everything falls apart, I can't say, because I don't want people to get any ideas. It is a last resort situation, but also because it also is tangentially related to an idea that I had to simplify the process of gacha voice acting from the perspective of the editors, and I do mean really simplify it. There are some aspects of, like, okay, the voice actors will have to get a particular piece or pieces of software in order to carry this out, unless they want to do in-person directing again, which is also an option. We still need one piece, but you know. So I'm still thinking about it in my head, but I was just, like, you know, walking after talking to the welding teacher, actually, and that's what I came up with. So yeah, and so yeah, two ideas that that just came, like, today, basically, or possibly last night with the other one, and I can't express them, so I just said, hey, I have ideas, but you know, don't inquire any further than that, please. Which is entirely unhelpful, and I do acknowledge that. But yeah. But yeah, there's not too much else about the week itself, like I said, to report, apart from that one thing I'm saving towards the end, which is also choir related. Mainly because this week was different in the sense of like an omission, as in like, you know, a subtraction from the norm, because well, partly while the teachers had an appointment, but also this is the teacher that has me doing like one-to-ones rather than you know, coming up with group activities or concepts, you know, interactive stuff. And fortunately, only get 5 minutes with groups of 4 students, or sometimes 3, depends. So it's not really so it really isn't the best, you know, I mean, maybe it's the best use of my time based on like what she thinks, but based on like how I've worked with the other groups, not so much. Like, there's a reason people are excited, you know. And like, I remember last time I was walking down here, someone like yelled out my name. That happens a lot in the school itself. I'm just looking. Yeah. So there we go. So the students of medium cycle of whaling. Okay, I don't know, but I think this might be it. I mean, it looks relatively intact. When was it created? There we go. 25th of March 2015. So yes, the 10th anniversary is indeed approaching. So yes, it was this. This was the thing that they made, you know, all those years ago, that took them from, I guess, backdating 2009. There you have it. Very interesting, actually, how like separated it is partially, and how thick it is. Because people today were talking about how you know, there's a particular machine that we'll use to cut thick material, you know, that was like even like 1 meter thick, basically, which is a lot more than I've seen them handle usually. And that's because we're talking about like the idea of like my welding training starting starting in January, because that's part of what they did, what they're going to do, where they have to instruct me in different things and see how well I pick up on their descriptions based on their English, which means that I'm either going to have to make a lot of guesses or pretend that I don't understand what they mean in order to have that assessment work. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play out, but we shall see. And basically, I just got the overalls, 2 out of the 3 pairs of gloves that I'm supposed to have, apparently, the helmet, which made me I did a Darth Vader impression once I was in all this get-up, and the boots. But the boots, unfortunately, are a size too small. I know that the teacher said they're not supposed to be comfortable because they're work boots, but there's a difference between not being comfortable and having my toes, my big toes, press and curl against the surface. I did mention last time that I tried to buy footwear in Galicia. I had to go through 4 different shops in order to find something. That was not a fun day. But yeah, we'll see, because that's one thing that I was talking to the welding teacher. You know, walking down, he actually had the pair of 2 small boots, which are already a size up from what they usually carry in most footwear stores. No, these are from footwear stores, I think. Or at least I'm not sure. I didn't really ask. And a lot of people will have used to ask me back in the day, oh, like, oh yeah, you know, I like your so-and-so, where'd you get it from? And I'd be like, either charity shop or not a clue, I don't remember, or it was a gift. I'm not very helpful when it comes to descriptions of clothing that I own personally. I do write and gacha review, especially when I'm covering for if Aiden's not around, I have something aesthetic to mention, which is rare, but you know, happens on occasion. But yeah, speaking of Aiden, I guess also Emily, you know, some of their requests for this week, going into the classic gacha tropes. I might keep that up actually. I might do a pre-record later today, or two, or maybe for some AFMAO ones. So I've got something to upload for tonight and also Thursday. So again, I'm not up super late when I have my earliest start day of this week, at least. I believe the week is almost over because of the whole like subtraction thing. If anything, the highlight was last week, because again, like I said before, that you know, I was saving something to the end that's choir related. Well, it was the general big rehearsal that was 1 hour long rather than the half an hour that never gives us time to do much at all. With I will say most of the people, the idea is almost that, you know, the director says things like, oh yeah, we'll rehearse like all together for this thing on Wednesday, or we'll do this all together. It's not quite all together, unfortunately. The thing is that yeah, it's still separated. So we have because this choir has 4 sections. There's the soprano 1, soprano 2s, not altos for some reason, but there you go. Tenors and baritones, and despite the fact that there are 3 tenors and a baritone that I know of, but maybe there's some more that I haven't met yet. Because that's one of the only sessions that I haven't actually attended, the baritone rehearsals, because I tend to go to all of them because I'm like the Joker, like I said last week. And so both soprano groups rehearse together, and because one of the one of the other guys, I'm pretty sure is dating one of the sopranos. I haven't asked them about this, but they give off the vibe, if you know what I mean. He tends to show up for her rehearsals and vice versa. So, you know, I see him there all the time. But yeah, he and I did some of the tenor sections too, because I was there to rehearse the soprano parts. So I kind of went back and forth depending on the song. But yeah, like the director said that, you know, in isolation, the reason that he really wants me to try out his like the choir that he's like a member of in one of the neighboring towns is because they always rehearse all together, and there's more of a polyphony to it. And that is like the satisfying part of choirs, is when they come together. He's had to, like, you know, do the thing that I do when editing sometimes, where, you know, I say things like, I promise this will look good in the actual thing, or, you know, I'll fix this in post. This looks very rough now and very crazy, but I swear I've got a vision for this idea. You know, for some like my editing streams, that kind of thing. Which I haven't done in a while. I might do a different one one of these days. Maybe Friday. Maybe. Depends. But yeah, it kind of feels like that, where he's promising, I swear this will sound better with everyone all together. It says that for a lot of things. Which made me wonder, why don't all the sections rehearse together? Because yeah, they did that in my sixth form choir, and yes, every time I point out how things were done in the UK, the director says, yeah, but things are a little bit different here. It's not as much of a focus. I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. It might be a potential thing to think about, because the people who were there seem to enjoy the rehearsals. It's an optional thing, because there weren't so many volunteers for the music program this year. That's why I'm not helping out the music program either. It was supposed to offer like a bilingual thing. But so I don't know. But at least for the Wednesday rehearsals, I'm surprised that they're still separated into, without counting myself and that other guy, boys and girls. I wonder what it will be like today. When I go over there. I wonder if it will still feel empty in comparison. I mean, obviously I can bring the soprano bits. I can bring that Polyphony, because we did that today in the rehearsal, where we were trying to see how one of these the things we're working on works in canon. So yeah, I basically switch depending on whatever is best required from me. But yeah, it makes me wonder, because like last time, because we had basically 3 sections with more than one person in each of them. I wonder how that is. But I'm also curious, because I haven't heard the baritones yet. They didn't rehearse on Monday, but usually I use that time either if I'm planning like other stuff, or I tend to have like other things going on, so I haven't actually shown up to any of those. If anything, I'm wondering if they might be the ones that will need a boost the most. Because one thing that I supply a lot of the time is volume as well. Some of the times the director will be like, come on, you got to be louder than him, referring to me. Particularly to the sopranos, which is not a good sign, because they're the largest section. If you could, well, I guess we could find both of them, but yeah. Again, it reminds me of my experience in primary school. We would do group singing there, which was not the UK, by the way. This was still Spain, and I hadn't registered yet that the prompts for everyone to sing louder did not just include me, because I was singing on top of my lungs all the time and trying to constantly not to blow up my own voice, because I thought I need to be louder to be heard all the time. But yeah, there were at minimum 20 of us, 22 maybe. So we really shouldn't have had that issue. And it took me until years later to realize at a different choir how people were leaning on me for like cues or for volume and stuff. I was like, oh, that's what happened. So yeah, I'm curious, but I do have to basically head up there now. So I guess, what's the quickest route from here? Probably this way, I think. Which means to go down the hill to go back up it again. All the way this time. That's going to be fun. Keep on a-dancing. Keep on flying. Keep on, you got this. That's, if you don't know, that's a Jacksepticeye song called All the Way that Shmo Yoho worked on. Which I remember the last time that I performed, I said that, oh yeah, I can hit the note in the night call version. The guy that I was, who invited me to his birthday party, said, oh, I don't believe you. Which, yeah, believe me now, other Jacob. Yeah, I won't say his last name, but his name actually was Jacob. I thought it was part of the story. I don't tend to dox people, but I feel like saying the first name is okay in this situation. Anyway, let's see what the Polyphony is like, or, what they need from me. Infamy. It's all about Polyphony. I like that word. I'm going to use it more often. Whatever. Yeah. Short one this time, but again, I gotta go. So please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell. My umbrella in my hands. Always an issue.